replicating that effort you had on Tuesday, where a lot of you felt it was a positive showing?
I think it's maybe more so than replicating that, it's playing to the identity that we have to play to. So it's always important for us to make sure we are skating and make sure we do a good job with the checking details to our game, because we feel like our success often comes off of those details. So that's the most important thing for us.
How's Conor Zary doing?
Good, actually, really well. We're hopeful that he'll be on the ice in a very limited way here over the next week or so. I mean, he's still got a ways to go. Don't get me wrong, but he's doing really well with his rehab. So we're pretty excited about that.
When you say he's got a ways to go still, is there a projected timeline for him?
No, not yet.
With moving Weegar to the middle since he's been out, how have you found it's worked for him and this extended stretch playing at center?
He's starting to generate more, which I always kind of thought would be the opposite when he was on the wing. I felt like he would have more chances. It just earlier in the year they weren't going for them. But I think he's found some chemistry with the two line mates over the last little while. I think he likes playing with both of them, and one, he's still able to be responsible like we always know he is. But then at the same time, I think he's got Kuzmenko, who's feeling much better about his game, and Posp, who's doing a lot of the skating and heavy lifting on the line. So I've liked that line in particular here over the last little while, and he's a big part of that.
Without Kevin Ball, what goes into the process of trying to determine what the best defense pairings are right now?
A little bit is, you try to put guys in positions where they think they'll be able to succeed. So with Rasmus, he had a partner in Kevin that was more of I guess you would say, a stay-at-home type guy. And they often played against top guys. And when we have one of the guys like Joel Hanley on our team, that's kind of his MO as well, where we felt it would be a good fit in that area with the two, and so far it has been. And then it also gives opportunity to someone like Jake Bean. All players want a little bit more opportunity. It's something that every day they're going to come to the rink saying, I can do a little bit more, I can help this team in other ways. So now it's opportunity for him, and it also keeps MacKenzie on his right side. So there's a few different things that we look at, but the big one for Baller is the size is quite a bit different between Joel and him, of course, but they have a little bit of the same mindset where they're defend first type guy.
Speaking of MacKenzie, I mean, with Alex Pietrangelo withdrawing from the Four Nations, there's a lot of people that hope he makes the club. Rasmus Anderson called it a no-brainer for Team Canada. Like how important is he and the value he has over here?
How is MacKenzie's value to us? You can't measure it. I mean, I put him and Ras in the same category in a lot of times, what he brings for our team, not just on the ice, but in the dressing room. I don't think you can put a price on that. So I'm in the camp of pushing for him hard as well to try to get that spot. I think it would be great for him, and in turn, I think it becomes great for our team as well.
Coach, for those of us from Anaheim, it's a great story. Your goaltender's a California kid. Yeah. What are the attributes that stand out most to you about him?
Number one, for Dustin's hockey sense. So for being an undersized goaltender, there's a lot of people that thought, he's too small, he won't be able to play in the NHL and face the best shooters. But he's got elite hockey sense for a goaltender, and I think that's what allows him to be so structurally sound. He seems to always beat the play. Where he arrives comfortable and he's set on his feet a lot of times, and because of that, there's not a lot of rebounds that come off of him. So I think he's done an excellent job for us.
How would you describe the Ducks, and what challenges do they present tonight?
They are one of the more, I feel like, dynamic teams a lot, because they have they're fairly deep on the young skill that they do have that I think is starting to come into its own a little bit. They've had success their last number of games here. They're scoring goals now. For me, that's the biggest challenge, is making sure, it goes to the earlier question, we have to play to our identity and try to limit the space that they get on the ice tonight.
If I can just circle back on Sharangovich, I don't think many of us would have pegged him to be your top face-off man statistically at this part of the season. So what's gone into his progress at that part?
Well, one thing, I think he doesn't take a lot of the hard draws like Michael would take. So I think that factors into it a little bit, but he does work on it in practice, and I think when he does play in the middle, he knows it's something that's important for him. So He's a funny guy to watch when you do drop pucks for him in practice because he is competitive in those areas where he wants to win them. So it's part of his role now. He has to find a way to do that for us and can continue to get better in there. So even when he's on his wrong side, which isn't quite as much as Naz or backs typically have to be, he has to be confident that he can do the job for us.